Hello, welcome back to my channel. Feel at home, relax, follow me, go subscribe, go like, watch whichever video that pleases you. You are encouraged to be returning back to watch the old videos. Thank you very much. I want to thank you for the new subscribers who have subscribed, and also want to thank those people who have reached me out personal through the phone, through as in physical meeting, and they have been so much, they are so much happy with what I'm doing, and I'm also much happy about it. So yes, the other topic was about if we should have sex, the adolescents should have sex or not. And today is another very interesting topic, and I believe you'll be with me from the start at the end. So today I've decided we are going to look at the factors that make our adolescents sexually active, or factors that will make them want to participate, to have sex. So I've categorized these factors into three. The first factor is biological factors. I have the intrinsic factors and the extrinsic factors. Be my guest. Welcome. Let's start with the biological factor that affects or make our youth to have sex or to be sexually active. Under these biological factors, I'm going to look at the age of the adolescent. So we understand that the adolescent stage starts from age 10 to age 19. So if you compare this, the way they're developing and the way they are exposed, you found out like those who are like 17 and 18, they are more likely to have to be sexually active as compared to their counterparts, as in compared to the others who are 10, 11, they are less likely to have or to engage in sex. Another factor under biological factor, we have gender. So in gender, let me tackle it in the according to our African setup. For example, there's this when our male are circumcised, as in they are taken as being big, as in they can make their own decisions, and that's when most of them start participating in this one. So according to gender, it is my take that male adolescents, they are likely to participate more in sex intercourse or sexual behavior than their female than the female. So also let's look at the race at under the biological factor at the top, at the third one. The gender, as in the study shows that as blacks, the Africans, they engage in sexual activity earlier as compared to other races, than the other races being the white and the Asians. And let's look at the intrinsic factors. First of all, you have to know what are the intrinsic factors that affects our adolescents into participating in sex. The intrinsic factors are these things that, as in they are from inside, as in the self-push, as in you yourself, as in it just pushes you to have that sexual intercourse. And as you know, I told you the adolescents are growing, and there's so many things, as in they're developing. They have the boobs coming, they have the figure eights, the men have the husky voice, they have the beard, so they will want to experiment with some of their bodies. So let's look at the intrinsic factors that make our youth want to participate in sex. The first, under intrinsic, I'm going to look at the curiosity. So most of them will have sex just because they are curious. They want to see how some of their parts are used and how they feel when they're touched, or as in they have that self-push, as in they want to try new things. They want to know how their body works. The next one, we're going to look at the social fitness. and this one is what most adolescents take, what takes them to have sex. The social fitness. So you want to fit in a certain group. That group, maybe the peer or the friends or the college mates or the people you're living with, they're participating in sex. So the next thing, it will be so much easy for them to recruit you into having the sexual affairs. For example, most people, as in most teens, they feel as in those who have already had sex, as in they'll start convincing others, as they feel, they'll start telling them that to try and have sex, as in to try to feel it, as in to try to explore, know how it feels. Most of them, they'll say it is so, as they feel nice, they feel loved when they have sex. So they try to influence those who have not had sex to do it. The next one we are going to look at under intrinsic factor is the quest for academic excellence. In this one, most of you are going to agree with me on it. So you have the relationships in schools and in colleges and in universities, where you want to get some favors from the people in authority, and these people are the ones teaching you, the teachers, the tutors, and the professors. So we might end up participating in sex or taking part in sex because you want your grades to look good. So maybe the professor, the teacher, or the tutor has approached you, and maybe you might be having, so you like him or not, but you have a feeling that when I fall for him or for her, she or he is going to make my grades be better. But I should urge you, adolescents, not to do this, because maybe assuming that that one is only taking in one course, you pass that course in the other ones, what will you do? So work hard, go study. It is your time to shine, but shine in the correct way. Don't look for people, don't give out sex as a favor to get good grades. This one is going to affect you forever, and just use your head, just use your brain, study. Leave sexual, don't indulge in sex this early. And also, let's look at the third factor. Before that, you have to look at the self-esteem as another factor under intrinsic factors. So how does self-esteem affect, let's say, girls or boys into participating in sex? So here, the girls who are less, as in they don't have that self-esteem, it is so low, they tend to participate more, they tend to engage more in sex than the boys who have low self-esteem. Because as in Africa, you know that mostly the boys who take the shots, as in they are the one who cater the girls. So when a boy has less self-esteem, he's not going to have, as in, like, the likelihood of him having involving himself in sex is much lower. And let's look at the self-esteem for the boys. So boys, if they have higher self-esteem, they feel themselves, their bodies well built, and they have maybe the little money and something that will make girls so much attracted to them, they tend to have to have sex, to participate in sex more frequently than the girls who have higher self-esteem. A girl has higher self-esteem, he's less likely to engage in sex. So let's help our girls, let's help our boys, let's help our adolescents. The little things that you do to them, like loving them, talking to them, will reduce their chances of being sexually active. Also, I want us to look at the third factor, and that factor is extrinsic factors. What are the extrinsic factors? These are things from the outside, as in the environment where you raise your children, where your adolescents live, the people they engage with, and they socialize with. So those ones will affect how the choices of our adolescents to engage in sex. So let's look at the environment as in the extrinsic factors. The first one, the extrinsic factor, we have the economic of the adolescents. So nowadays it's so much common to find these adolescents as in engaging in sexual activities with the people that they are much older than them. And I'm not talking about the ladies alone, I'm also talking about men. So you find though mostly with those people who are elderly, the youth, the adolescent go for them for economic satisfaction. Maybe that's when they say the materialist, they become so materialistic. They want something that they don't have from the man they are dating or from the older lady they're dating. So that one has become the norm of the society, and you have to talk our kids into it, as in they should stop at least doing that. Let's encourage them to be, as in to work for their money, to work for their what they need. And also under that one, under the economic, they must be maybe the status, the economic status of the family. Maybe this one is a girl, an adolescent. Maybe he's having some, maybe let's say like he's having some methods. At school, maybe they have not provided the sanitary towels. At times they provide them, but they're too little, they cannot last for long. So he needs those. That one, he needs the sanitary towel he doesn't have. He might trade it for sex, as he may have sex, engage in sex so that he can get a little money to buy the sanitary towels. And also those from the poor setup, poor background, they also can engage in sex so that they can sustain the family needs. Also have those that are from maybe the interior parts, mostly also they participate in this sex so that they can get the financial muscles. Let's look also at the second one under in extrinsic factor. We are looking at the broken homes. No one wishes to be raised in a broken family, broken homes, and none of the parents will want their children to be raised in such a families. So there's difference between there's someone who can just decide to have a single parent can decide to raise the children depending on the factors that maybe he or she has gone through, but most of people prefer a full family. And also, so this one, broken homes, it will lead to sexual activeness in adolescents, maybe when they have some stress, as in they are broken up, the parents are, as in the father is doing other things and the mom is doing other things. So these adolescents, they are left between, they don't know what to do. Maybe the mother has her own stress to deal with, so maybe he tends not to be so much close to the adolescent kid, or also the father has a lot of stress relating to the breakup, so he doesn't get that much time to be close to his son or his daughter. So that one will make them want, as in they will make them maybe, no, I'm not saying it must, that they must engage in sex because they are from broken families. So they'll find solace in somewhere and they will engage in sexual activities. Also, under extrinsic factor, let's look at the poor parenting. What is poor parenting and what's good parenting? Right now, it's so much hard to know which one is good parenting and which one is bad parenting, because every family has their values. they have value they want to cultivate in their children. So maybe you can see, maybe I'm raising my kids like this, and to you say, nah, hey, that's not the way to go. That's not the way to raise the children. So this one, I'd rather look at maybe the busy parents than looking at the poor parenting. So when the parents are so busy, you know, right now you have to go to work, and mostly when you're working, you have to take a lot of time there. As in, there's those parents who their work schedule is so much tight that maybe during the day when the kids are in the house, he's working, and sorry, and in the evening is when they come, or late at night, when these children, these adolescents, maybe they have already slept, and they will wake up early in the morning to go to school, leave maybe the parents sleeping, or the parents have already gone to work. So rather than other than looking for us as in a poor parenting as the source of your adolescents participating in sex, I rather look at them busy schedule of the parents and how they affect them. So when the parents are so busy, maybe these children have come back from school and they have something they want to talk about with the parents, but they're not there. They want to be guided, but the parents are not there. So this one, it might make them look for an alternative, look for someone who they can confide in, and it can end up maybe that relationship, maybe with the different sex or the same sex, it becomes so strong, and when it becomes so strong, it can lead into sexual relationship with the person they're confiding in. Another one, indecent media content. So right now, every child has access to the phones, be it the phone that you bought to them, be it the phone from the neighbors, from the cousins. As in one way or the other, they get access to the phones, they get access to the media, and you cannot know what time the media that needs parental guidance is being aired. Maybe you can know the time, but by that time you're not in the house, so they can take that advantage to watch the PG program that they are not allowed. Or under that one, also have access to the internet, and in the internet is just a click away. Just put key in, and all the information that you want will come down. So when it comes down, they have access to it. They read, they watch, and depending on what they watch, it will lead them into becoming so active in sex, or engaging in sex. So let's try to be, to look into that. Let us expose them to it, but know what they are watching at what time, and if it is doing good to them, let's try be there for them. Also, let's look at the social factors, social activities under the extrinsic factors. Social activities. I'm going to take an example of, like, last month, it was the initiation ceremony. There were so many initiation ceremonies for the Luya communities. So there's this one, while I was traveling, I saw them. They call it in Kiluya, they say kumina. They were singing those songs and in taking the boys to the aunts or to the uncles to be given those presents, and after that they'll be circumcised. So during those activities, when they are singing on the way, they are in so many groups, and they are mixed up. There is girls and there is boys, and you find most of them, they're the adolescents. So that one will put them out there, as in it might increase their urge to engage into sexual activities. Also under social activities, we have these festivals, the Christmas, the Easter, the get-together, the funerals. As where you go, you meet so many people in a place. These people, they're not, maybe they are not related, or they might be related, or they might be friends to the relatives. So when you get when they get together, so many things happen. They get involved, so as in they might show liking to the other people and into the other people they have met, even in the, maybe also in the church, as in they go to the conferences. When so many people meet, it can result into engaging in sexual affairs. So we should try to monitor, should try to know what the adolescents are going through, so that we can control, as we can at least know when, as in you can know one day how they want to do it, and try to talk them into not having it too early. Also, the last one, let me look at the religious activities. That one is still under the extrinsic factors. Religious activities. So as the Christians, we know what the Bible tells us about the sexual activities. The sex is meant for married people. According to the Bible, we should not be adulterers. So people who are more religious, their families are religious, they'll tend not to have or not to engage in early sex, as compared to those people who are not that much religious. I know the Quran also talks about that, and you'll find them not the adolescents, both in the both religions, if they're really they're so much active in their religion, their parents are so much active in it, they will tend not to participate much more in sex at the early stages. So that are some of the points that I wanted to look at. I hope you have learned something. I hope you are going to get something from it, and you are going to read the red flags when our adolescents, our children are in that stage, so that you are going to so that you can know when to talk to them about it, and it will help it will go a big way into there, as in helping them into the setting their future life, as it is a foundation. The adolescent stage is the foundation of the future life they are going to live. So when you try talking to them and they find the positive part, as in they follow the positive part of not maybe participating in sex at the early stages, it will be good for them. So I want to thank you so much for watching up to this end. You have done me a favor, and I'll appreciate it forever. I want to urge you to ask your friends, tell your friends, tell your other relatives to subscribe to my channel, please. You see, it is a friendly one, it is an educative, and most of us, we are with those youth, as we are with those the adolescents. They can be our children, they can be the adolescents themselves who are listening to me, they can be our cousins or the children who are under our care, and they'll want to know, as you have that mandate to teach them about this one, so that they can make informed decision. So feel free to share, to watch, and to tell friends to subscribe. Also, subscribing will help me a big way. You've been viewing my channel, and I'm really grateful. You've been calling me, thanking me for what I'm doing, and believe me, trust me, it really makes me feel proud of myself. And the little knowledge I'm giving out, if it is going to help even just one person, one adolescent, it is going to go a great way. Thank you very much for watching, and come back, watch the others, watch this one, share whatever you want to share, and God bless you.